Hello everyone, this is Karolina and today I'm going to show you how to make some cool mana or health potions or whatever potions you want to show off in front of your friends or release your creativity because it's quite simple and fun. You will need your chosen food color dye, water. I poured into my containers slightly above half of what they need. You will also need vegetable glycerin and mica powder. Ideally you will have some cool bottles, glass bottles that have interesting shapes. I here have something like this and a tiny boy like that, and I'm going to make health potion and mana potion, and I'm going to open now my red dye. Depending on you will also need those thingies, water go through thingies, equal amount, maybe not necessarily equal, but helpers. So water go thingy helpers. How is this actually called in English? Can someone help me please? And something to stir. I usually use something wooden, old brush or whatever. No big reason, but in case it colors my cutlery or something, or why not to use something else, right? So depending on your food color, you will basically be eyeballing it. You pour as much as you think will be needed. I start from like 1-2 drops and stir it around, so let's see how it goes. We have 1 drop, 2 drops. Let's stir it. It's too transparent, right? So you just add more. Now, if you want to put some LED magic into it, like I did for my prop, then you need to make sure it's not too dark so that the light can go through. Like obviously it will shine, but depending on your needs, you add more. I am adding, I think, 6 and 7 drop now, and this is how it looks. So this is the situation right now. Out of interest, because when I did my green one it was quite darker, let's pour some more and let's see how it goes. It's not changing that much, so I guess we've reached the maximum. And now a bit of magic begins. You add mica powder. I go for something big like that. Let's try a scoop first, see how it looks. So it looks like this. Yeah, you can see it better now. Let's add glycerin so it starts moving. I actually should bring some measurements, so give me a second. I'm gonna have a tablespoon. Previously worked with a teaspoon, but I poured quite a few. So let's try with 1 tablespoon of glycerin and see how it behaves. So usually what I do, I just keep on stirring. It is still a bit too watery to my liking, so let's add another one. And see how this one goes. So this is how it's behaving right now. Out of interest, right? Let's keep on adding more red. I yeeted quite a bit. Obviously, don't go too crazy. You need to stir it for the magic to be magicking. And there are ways to keep on doing that non-stop without you needing to do it yourself, but I will show that later. So now let's make a very tiny mana potion. Why tiny? Because that's the only little container I had, and also it's cute. Cuteness is important. I put 2 drops. This is how it looks. Let's add a little bit of mica powder because clearly the other one would be too much. So I'm gonna go 1/4 of a scoop. You will clearly be able to see it from that distance, probably, hopefully. And zhoosh, in. Let's now pour 1/2 tablespoon of glycerin in. And I just realized that because I poured water in already, I don't need those thingies I don't know the name of, but oh well. If you're using a different container, like I did for my other project, where you mix everything together first and then pour it in, important, these thingies, very important. Now we stir a bit more. To be honest, I could have added water, actually, so the stirry bits will be useful. If you don't have enough water, or you want to transfer it, use the water flowy thingy, your water, and just add. And ideally do not pour water on your work table. Okay, it looks very pretty with the blue one. Let's try adding a bit more blue and see what happens. This is how it looks right now. Quite adorbs. And oh yes. I'm gonna add a little bit more glycerin because I added water. Maybe half a spoon or more since I poured a bit more. And this is how our bad boy looks now. And this is our magic potion. Actually potions. Now to make them more potiony, you can add something on top, more decorations to it. I think I am going to go for like clay, foam clay, just because of shape of this one. Potentially with that one. I would also suggest using like wax, some colorful candle and pour it down so that it has this nice leaky bit. I might do that after I coat it first with some foam and see if I want to do that further. You can also go with leather strips and wrap it around. Let's try the hot glue gun on the smaller one first because the bigger one will require more. I am still considering evening it out with foam clay first, but to be honest, you know, if you want to like hide branding or whatever of your bottle, you can also use like resin and have a nice resin coated top. Anything to make it look more like magic potion than something that, you know, bought from the shop. Personally, I think some interesting bottles would be from like alcohol bottles or juices that you can use, but the important part is that it is transparent so that you can see the colors. Let's try. As you can see, it's kind of going there, but what you want to do is to make sure it actually looks natural. So make like a few longer ones, ideally not thick, just longer, and then once it cures you can, for example, paint it, spray it with a different color. And don't do what I just did. So as you can see, you do not need a candle to create something like that. You can have hot glue gun. I think more natural results will be if you use real wax, but it's okay. You know, it's just a prop. What I'm trying to do is to add as much of that as possible because I'd like to use something there. If you have a wax stamp, a ring, something with cool design you can copy it from, go for it. I'm gonna use this. Keep on adding, keep on adding, keep on adding and adding. We have enough now. I'm just gonna go ahead now and press it in. And we wait. And similar stuff can be done here, but I can just use this instead. And it didn't work as nice as I hoped. So let's just massage it in and try again. Squeeze it in. There we go. We have a pattern. And as you can see, mica powder is getting a bit restless at the bottom, so we need to really zhuzh it. So to avoid that, we'll do something different here. But for that, we'll need electronics, which I need to order first, so see you in a few days. It's been a while. I've designed and printed the box that I will use to make my magic potions even more magical, and this box will be available somewhere in some kind of a link in the description. The plan is to create the effect that the potion is constantly stirring and ideally also lit up with LEDs. We'll see if it works. Now we need to remove the prints of the vase. I may have got a little bit overly excited rescuing this one from its supports, so let's reinforce it a little bit before we start adding the magnets.
To do that, I like using UV resin because it cures within minutes and I can quickly get back to work on the main project. Here I am preparing the magnet holes, pouring a little of UV resin first and then adding my neodymium magnet before curing. And then repeating the process for the rest of them.
Now time for the most important but also difficult part of it all. We will need to connect the LEDs and the motor. I got 2 LEDs, the strip like that, and I cut it in between. You don't need to, but I cut it in between because my plan is to feed the motor like that in between. The spinny bit is exactly in the middle of the lights. We will start by preparing the cables. Past Caro didn't know shit about soldering. We need at least this length, finger's length of cables. I mean, it did work, it just was too snug and I didn't like it, so I destroyed it all, and here I am a couple of hours later sitting here and still doing this. Also very important, get very strong neodymium magnets because the other ones I used were smaller and from a weaker batch that I have, and nothing really worked. So now restarting, and let's show you how I've done stuff.
Here you can see me adding solder to the exposed wires. The exposed parts of the wires have been twisted together as well. Then I am moving on to adding solder to LED strip. This will make connecting the components together much easier.
I'm going to start cutting the controller cable, this cable here, and then we are exposing the wires. I like to give myself like a centimeter more or less from the bigger cable, and then we have 2 smaller cables here. We will just wire them together, so red to red, all the reds together and all the blacks together. Now the task is to expose these tiny wires here from the controller and USB plugging into the power bank or any source of power you are going to use. You need to make sure that the wires for the LEDs, that there is the same voltage between the power bank, LEDs and motor. I think I need to expose a bit more so I have a bit more wiggle room in here. Okay, so now I am wiring the LEDs, controller, USB and motor together. 3 little wires connected together. Now we will connect all the black wires together. It works. I don't know what to show it on, but it works. Oh my god, yes! Awesome. So what I like to do is to put a protective heat sleeve, and now we can just heat shrink it. And that's our wiring done. I just had to step away for a moment because I realized my motor won't be able to spin around because I didn't leave enough space in my design. So this is the difference. There we go, this is the difference. I dremeled a little bigger hole now so it can spin around a bit more, because inside there is space for it to be glued in, but there was no space for spin. So the revised design will be in a linky link, don't you worry. Probably some kind of money will be stable, but I'm not sure there is something small enough to fit in there. Okay, I would need to dremel a bigger hole. Now that we have found our new base, we are gonna glue it on. We are putting it on the side here. Secure it. Then we need to add the base to here. I am placing glue in the middle and securing the motor in there. Let's see if it works. It does. Noise. Cool. Okay then. Now we need to secure it into our base. So now it's time to do some LED magic. I have found some LED foam and cut it to size, and now I'm going to glue it in. Now, again, securing the cables with hot glue gun. I've created a little bit extra padding for my thing, like this, and then I'm gonna put it like that, so it's still equal situation.
Here I am securing everything together with hot glue gun and then attaching it all to the lid.
I'm going to paint a little bit more details on top of our potions. I'm going to prepare another interesting thing, and this is going to be our magnet for the inside.
Since we are using magnets on the motor, we will need another set inside our magic potion for the stirring effect. It is a good idea to glue them standing up so that they spin better within the liquid.
And then we will do a test before I plonk it into the magic potion. I got my new magnets. There we are. So we are gluing them on the side here. Stick in our trusty magnets. So now this is how this looks. We have 4 magnets. We'll see if that's a good amount glued into the coin. Let's see how this works right now.
As you can see, it's stirring very well, even dealing with those stubborn areas where the mica powder has gathered quite a lot. So now I am attaching everything together to the base again. Here I am securing the motor with the glue gun to make sure it doesn't move. And as you can see, it works! So now let's do the final recording. I am really happy with the result. It looks great in a full light, a little bit of light or nothing. Probably I should add a little bit less of the color to make it more transparent, but there we are. This is how to make the magic potion that will shine and spin endlessly. Hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and comment, and if you have any questions or you want to show your creations, please let me know. I'm really excited to see what you've done.